I know.
Could you do overdose on the sun this afternoon?
I haven't seen you both in meetings. I don't know where you guys has been having. Okay, let me just tell you what is there.
¿Qué pasa, Giovanni? No sé, no me contesta. Él me llamó temprano, pero yo no pude hablar con él.
But also, let me show you something else, just so you maybe see a lot of things. It's the exact same thing that I need from this can be taken off. Just something. But this is gonna be finished. Okay.
Vaya a hablar con... Hoy estamos 15. Ay, Dios mío, pero qué aquí. Good evening and welcome to Ordinance Subcommittee. Today is Thursday, June 15. Members are present, Councilor Maldonado, and I have to recognize the presence to our City Council President, who is in absence, to Nilka Alvarez and Giovanni Rodriguez. Thank you, Councilor President.
Thank you.
So we're just going to start. We're going to approve the minute. Councilor, I need to take one item out of order. I mean, it's going to be many, but can I get a motion to take document 22617 out of order?
So move.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Document 22617 is a livery transportation license, Rapido Transportation LLC, 278 South Broadway, and has been put on the agenda by Henry Polanco and Officers Flores.
Good evening,
Good
councilors.
evening.
This is going to be a new company, Interstate Livery, which is the ones that make the runs to New York.
What was the last part of Flores?
Excuse me?
What was the last part you say?
This is a new company for Interstate Livery.
Okay. Okay.
The owner on this is Mr. Henry Blanco from 75 High Street, Lawrence. He has all his paperwork in order. The only thing that's missing is the certificate of inspection, which I spoke to Inspectional Service, so they're behind right now. So he should get there next week for the inspection, and it should be all set by, if this gets a favorable recommendation, it should be all set by full council.
Okay. Councilor, do you have any question? Give a few minutes.
Madam Chair, all the documentation appears to be in order. I'd like to make a motion that we send it up to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Second the motion?
Motion has been made, properly second. All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Flora, you know the rules,
See you.
right? See you. Thank you for being here this evening. You as well. Okay. So the first item on the agenda is document 20817. It's a National Grid request to locate pole, wire, and fixture on Walnut Street, and that has been put on the agenda by Chris Russ, Supervision of Distribution Design. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is David Boucher, Senior Designer at National Grid, 1101 Turnpike Street in North Andover. This petition that we have is for Walnut Street. We're asking for one pole location, a new pole location. That would enable us to provide electricity to, there's already a brand-new home there and another new home that's going in, the foundation's there. The increase in the load warrants that we need another transformer, and there's one on Lawrence Street that we're planning to provide the service and electricity for the new load, and it's closer to the new homes, and the pole would enable us to run our wires from Lawrence Street down to those two, 336 is one of them. So if the city sees fit, when this goes to the city council, it will enable us to go forward with that.
Okay. So this is going to be a new pole?
Yes, one new pole.
Okay. Do you need to close the street to do this type of work, or how are the hours you play to work with it?
I don't know if the street will need to be closed. It's a pretty unbusy street, and I don't know how many hours it will take. I have no idea how long it takes them to set that, put it in, but just go about it like we do all the time. If we need to get a policeman, we will, but it's a not very quiet, but it's not very busy, that section of Walnut.
Madam Chair.
Councilor Maldonado?
This pole is going to be put in there particularly to provide electricity to the new house that is being built right across?
Correct. The pole that we're putting in is a pole that will be between two existing poles. The two existing poles that we need to connect our wires with are about 300 feet apart. So we usually go at the most 150 feet between poles, otherwise the wires will sag really low. You can't go much more than that. So what we need, I mean, because it's such a larger distance, we need another pole in between the two poles to keep the wires up. Currently, there's a transformer right there on Lawrence Street that we want to use. It's closer, and it can take the additional load of those two new homes. Right now, there's one of them that's being fed from the other direction, from a transformer that's almost 500 feet away.
Okay, so what you are doing is taking the electricity from the existing transformer, bring it to the new pole, and from there provide electricity to the house that is being built. Am I correct?
Yep, say there's two existing poles, we're gonna put one in between.
Yes.
And just run wire like that and go to the pole.
Okay,
I mean, to the homes.
Okay.
Two new homes.
I don't have any more questions.
Madam Chair, I strongly support this. This is in the Arlington neighborhood, and it's currently two vacant pieces of land and building it. I know that the construction for one property has already been built. A second one is already in process, and a third one will be built right after. And this is going to be beneficial to the Arlington neighborhood because they have been, locations for illegal dumping, and I think that building properties there will actually alleviate that.
Okay.
So as a result of that, I make a motion that we send it up to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
To order public hearing?
Yes.
Second.
Motion has,
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Maria, is to order public hearing.
Public hearing, yeah.
What, I'm sorry, didn't understand what was passed. What was conclusion?
The motion passed.
Okay.
And we, yeah.
I couldn't hear you. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There you go.
Sorry. I don't
All
know,
right, so
but
that
I
one
think the
passed.
mic has some kind of,
Okay.
okay. Okay, the next document is document 20917, is also National Grid and Verizon, Inc. Request to locate a pole, wires, and fixtures in the corner of South Union and Jamaica Street, 42-46 Jamaica Street. Good evening.
Okay, once again, Dave Boucher for National Grid. What we have at the corner of Jamaica and South Union Street is a particular spot where we have three-phase wires that are going down Jamaica Street, and they're also going all the way down South Union Street. The building that's going up right now, that's being constructed, is almost in the area of our primary electric lines. And previous to you know, them building it too close and unsafely near the lines, our engineer went out there and designed this particular resolution so that once the full house goes up, it's not going to be near, or the lines are in the unsafe zone for electricity being close to the house. The two new we're asking for two new poles, pole 5437 and 5437 and a half. What that will enable us to do is move all the wires across the street, away from the front of the new house at 42-46, and they'll be crossing the street as opposed to going in front of where the house is being built. So basically, instead of the wires going like this, we'll cross the street and go to a pole over here instead of over here. The house is going up right here, and it's getting close to where the lines are. So the second pole, that would be the first pole that would enable us to do that. The second one is for support of the line at the first new pole location. The first new pole is that 5437 that you see, and the support pole is the 5437 and a half across the street of South Union. Not sure if anyone's familiar with this, but if you've gone out there at all, you'll understand what I'm saying. But
Okay.
if
I'm not.
you have any questions, I'll try to answer them.
Yes, I am.
Oh, yeah? You have a question?
No.
No?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we send it up to the full council. The public hearing has already been ordered, so on that night, on the 20th, we'll be voting on the final decision.
Okay.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you
you.
for being here.
Good night.
Yes, sir. Document 21817 is a handicap parking at 82 Jackson Street. Can I get a motion to send this item to Officer Scanlon for?
So move.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Motion to table document
So
218.
move.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Document 219 is a parking ban on Orchard Street. It's a review ordinance. Councilor, I've been working with this particular area in my district for, I will say, if I'm not wrong, like for 4 years. And it's always been back and forth with that they also have to be moving during the summer. So what I think we should do is just to send correspondence to DPW, and they can send a full inform or report that we can decide how we're going to work with that. However, whenever we have that report, the resident want to speak on behalf of this item, so that way we can understand what is the real issue. So can I get a motion to send document 21917 to DPW for a report?
So move.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Document to table, 219.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Document 22017 is a parking at 128 Parker Street, Parker Pharmacy. 5 minutes parking limited for 3 space in front of the pharmacy, Monday through Friday between 1:30 to 3 p.m. That has been put on agenda by Councilor Vice President Mark LaPlante, but I also have the applicants who want to speak on behalf. Good evening.
Good
Name
evening.
and address for the record.
My name is Robin. Address is 128 Parker Street, Lawrence.
Madam
Okay.
President, I have some questions.
You do have question. Okay,
Yes.
Councilor Maldonado.
Do you think 5 minutes would be enough for anybody to stop and go into the pharmacy to do business?
It will be. Right now, the parking is taken up entirely by parents waiting for their children to get out of school, and they're there for, some of them, a half an hour, 45
Oh, I
minutes.
see. Yeah.
And we have people, their prescription's all ready, they just need to come in, pick it up, and then leave, but there's no place to park. So right now, we have elderly and handicapped, and they're parking over in the AAA parking lot where the AAA used to be, walking over on their canes to pick up a prescription, walking back. And I'm just getting so many complaints because they don't have any access to the pharmacy anymore.
Oh, okay.
So we're having a big issue with this.
So my question again is, customers come into the pharmacy.
Yep.
Is 5 minutes going to be enough for them to come into the pharmacy, do whatever business they are going to do and come out in 5 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, 5 minutes or 10 minutes would be
That's
plenty.
what, that's what I
Even
was
10
thinking
minutes
of.
would be good.
That's what I was thinking of, to
Yep,
increase
10
it
minutes
to
would work as
probably 10
well.
minutes. Because I don't see how anybody can stop for 5 minutes. They would have to run. And if they have questions for you
Right.
about a particular medicine, or they have some questions about any reactions on a medication, there's no,
Yeah,
there's
it
no
might
way
take
that
more
they
than
can,
5
that they
minutes.
can stay
10
there
minutes
for
might be
5
a better
minutes.
number to shoot for
Yes.
then. Yeah.
So my suggestion is that we increase it to 10 minutes rather than 5.
I like that suggestion.
Okay.
I think if we go by 2 15-minute spark,
2:15.
I think it make more sense that 3 space, instead of 3 spaces, 2 spaces, because we have to kind of leave some kind of open space on the corner, and it's
Okay.
right on the corner, so I don't want, to be denied just because of that. So 2
Sure.
15 minutes,
Okay.
I think it makes sense if that works for you.
I would appreciate that, yes. That would
Okay.
work.
So then we need to change,
So I'd like to make a motion that we do 2:15 minutes?
yeah, 2
Okay.
15 minutes, Monday through Friday, between 1:30 to 3 p.m., which is the rush hour from the school, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so after that, anyone can park.
Anyone, anytime, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate it, because when you don't need it, why you still want it, you have it,
Thank you.
So the motion, Counselor?
It's a motion to send up to the full council to order a public hearing.
No, we need to send it to
Send it
Officer
to,
Scala.
Officer Scanlon.
Yes.
We need
To
to
Officer
send-
Scanlon.
I second the motion.
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Motion to table document 220.
So move.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. What is going to happen now is we're going to send the document to Officer Scanlon, which is the police officer who works on the street.
Okay.
So whenever we have the report, we are going to inform you, and you can come back if you want to. You don't need to, the fact that you explain what is the need for.
Okay, I can
Okay.
do that. Sure, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gami.
Okay.
Thanks. We table the item. Okay, the next document is, I have the report, we're gonna, 221. Since we're gonna be continuing order, let me just read this. This is,
You
okay.
want to send this 221 to?
Yeah,
Officer Scala?
document 221 is a stop sign intersection of Andover Street and Foster Street, and we have the report. There are currently a stop sign posted on the northwest and southeast corner of Foster Street in Andover. Adding a stop sign on the corner will cause traffic flow problems with the intersection of South Union Street and Andover Street that has a traffic control signal. So he's basically no approving this item because it's already one. So what are we gonna do with this?
He's not recommending approval.
He's not. Huh?
He's not recommending approval.
No.
No.
No, and it makes sense. It's already 6-1. So what are we gonna do with it?
Send it with no recommendation to the full council.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I get a motion to?
Motion to send it up with no recommendation to the full council.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Since it is a no recommendation, don't we need to order public hearing still?
No.
And just- No?
No, because
Okay.
you presented as a committee report.
Okay. So the next document is 22217 Transcendental License, 34 Sargent Street, that has been put in the agenda by Silvia Canseco. Maria, you need to help. Your name and your address for the record?
Silvia Canseco,
Y la dirección. Su nombre y su dirección.
Silvia Canseco, 34 de la Saller. 34 Saller,
24.
34.
Sylvia Canseco, 34
Sargent Street. This is a new license or is going to be a renewal?
¿Esto es una nueva licencia que usted está aplicando o es una renovación?
Es una renovación.
It's a renewal.
Okay, just give it 1 second. Oh my God, this is something like.
Madam Chair, there is some comments on the back of the first page that says that the truck needs to be inspected, that the current permit expired on 5/31. So it is important, whoever is responsible for inspecting the truck, maybe, is it the fire department or
Is food.
food service?
Food service, yeah, food
That we
service.
Valda.
Walda, yeah.
Okay.
So,
So, what we can do is send it up without a recommendation
pending, we can send the, well, no recommendation, pending.
pending the
The report.
inspection. And we should send some communication to Valda, is it?
Yeah.
Valda Miller.
Yes, so that she can go ahead and inspect it and let us know by the next meeting.
Yep. So, Maria, can you translate that for her?
Ellos han chequeado en los documentos y parece que tiene una notificación de que tienen que ir a inspeccionar de eso de la comida
Nada más era eso.
hasta que no tengan esa información, pero no le van a lo van a mandar a los concejales,
A los concejales.
a todos los concejales para pendiente los documentos que hacen falta de inspección.
¿Por qué? Disculpe.
Que ellos lo van a aprobar aquí en esto, lo van a mandar a cuando sea la próxima reunión, cuando estén todos los concejales reunidos, sin una recomendación, porque faltan inspeccionar todavía eso el de la comida, el certificado de la comida, van a mandar para que inspeccionen eso primero.
Just tell her that she needs to come back next Tuesday, which is our next city council meeting.
Usted tiene que venir el próximo martes, que a las 7 de la noche, que es la próxima reunión de todos los concejales.
El próximo martes.
Sí, el próximo martes.
Yeah, but she also needs to make sure that this is going to happen between the time. Like if she can come back tomorrow to inspection or, not inspection of service, to Walter.
Walter.
Yeah,
Valda
Walda,
Miller.
Oh,
Walda.
Tiene que asegurarse que de aquí hasta la próxima reunión que inspeccionen con la señora Valda, que trabaja en la inspección, ella tiene que inspeccionar eso, que ese documento que le hace falta.
Okay.
Tiene que pasar la inspección primero. Ujú. Pues porque eso es lo único que se le ha expirado, entonces tiene que renovarlo.
Pero es que yo pensaba que primero tenía que tener la licencia y ir con Amanda. Tenía que pasar primero, disculpe, o hacer primero la inspección y volver a venir aquí a la junta.
She's saying that she thought she had to first get the license and then get all the other stuff done.
I don't know if something has changed, but this is the second person who's coming with the same issue. I think we need to communicate better and just to see if one thing needs to happen before the other, because, like I say, this is the second case and I don't remember this is the orders that we used to work in the past. So just tell her that just check tomorrow to make sure that everything is going to be in order and she can have, if she can have and bring the copy next Tuesday, so that way we know that we're going to have it.
Ella dice que este es el segundo caso que está sucediendo esto con la gente que viene a pedir permiso, pero que si usted asegúrese mañana de visitar el departamento de inspección y hablar con la señora Valda a ver si le dan el certificado lo más pronto posible antes de la reunión el martes.
Okay.
Porque ellos lo van a mandar al concejal, todos ellos, pero la reunión, pero que necesitan ese documento de que fue inspeccionado.
Okay. Okay.
Y hable con la señora Valda.
Thank you, Maria.
Okay.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Document 22317 is ice cream truck vendor, 53 Stephen Avenue, has been put on the agenda by Jennifer Alvarado.
So confirm my address and everything, right?
Yeah, name and address.
Jennifer Alvarado, 53 Stevens Ave.
Jennifer, this is a renew or this is a new license?
It's a new license.
Is that?
A new license.
Is a new?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just give it 1 second. A ver, ya lo buscaba. All the papers in order? Okay.
Madam Chair, I see that the,
All the papers are in order.
no, in the fire department,
The fire department, it hasn't gone there yet. Oh, there's a couple of things that need to be fixed, and then it's gonna go
Yeah.
over there, and then we'll bring it over here and get inspected.
okay. So we need a signature from the fire department that has
That's what we need, right?
Yeah. So you're aware of that, right?
Yeah, I'm aware. My dad owns an ice cream truck, so he was already, I was here the last time
Okay.
with him, so yeah,
Okay,
we're working on that.
Okay, thank you.
so,
Other than that, everything now appears to be in order.
so what we're gonna do is send it with
Send it out,
pending, no
pending the
no
signature.
recommend. Okay.
I make that in form of a motion.
Second?
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. You also need to come back next Tuesday for our next city council meeting. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Fire department. Right? It's the fire department. Document 22417 is transit rental license 6 Salem Street. Has been put on the agenda by Jorge Espinosa. Okay. Good evening. Your name and your address for the record?
Jorge Pinoza, 6 Salem Street.
Jorge, this is a new license or is a renewal?
Yes, ma'am, new license.
New license, and it's going to be a transit vendor license.
Is it a?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So where are you planning to be parking?
We're right there at 316 Common Street, across,
Yeah.
316 Common, across the street from, the bus station.
Okay. So, Jorge, and this is not only to you, this is something that we have to repeat it to everyone who applied for the first time. If you don't have people in line waiting, you're supposed to be moving every 2 hours. When you out of business or after hour, what are you planning to be parking your truck?
Could I speak for a second, because I'm running the business with him?
Yeah.
The business, we rented a spot in, because it's basically a parking lot. So we rented a spot, which I got a lease from the owner there. So I thought by doing that, I wouldn't have to move the truck around.
It's a trailer.
It's a trailer. It's not
Okay.
an actual
It's
motor.
stationary.
Like
Okay.
I would have to hook it up to a pickup truck and move it around. So what my thoughts were, if we could apply for the permanent station and have, like, if I had to move, if I wanted to move, I could move. I don't know if that permit runs under that one, or do I have to have 2 different permits?
No. So because it's a transfer vendor, and you rented a space, is
Yes,
that what
ma'am.
you say?
Yes, ma'am.
In the parking lot.
For,
Right across the street from the bus station, there's a parking lot right there.
Boss,
The-
what
the-
You know where Common is, the bus station?
it's at the
and
corner of Common and
dental place?
Amesbury.
That cross right there? If you're coming up the street, coming this way, on the right side, there's a big parking lot.
Okay, so you're gonna be in the parking lot?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
If it's not on the street,
No.
thank you.
Yep.
If it's not on the street, you don't need to move.
All right.
If it is on the street,
Yep.
you have to move because it's a transfer vendor
So every
license.
2 hours, if I was parked anywhere around Lawrence,
You
every
have
2
to
hours,
move.
I
If
gotta
you don't have a line, you have to move. If you have people waiting, of course, you're not going to move.
Yeah.
But if, since this is gonna be in a parking lot, this is the no apply to you.
All right.
Madam Chair, if a movable kitchen is going to be stationary, it may have different requirements. It may have to meet different standards.
Right.
And we may have to ask the Inspection and Service Department to look into that particular situation because they may require specific connections because it's going to be a restaurant now on a specific location. So there may be a problem where all the requirements may be required of you guys because you're going to be stationary.
Well, the thing is, what I mean by stationary, I thought it would have been easier for us to rent the property so I wouldn't have to fall on that 2 hour
Okay.
Well,
thing.
but you
Well,
see,
I'm
that
not
is the
gonna-
problem.
I'm not gonna be there, like, let's say I'm trying to open up permits in another town, so let's say Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'll be stationed in another town, then, let's say Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I come to Lawrence. So I just don't wanna be in that moving and being
Every 2 hours.
bothered by, you know, by authorities or something, so I thought it would've been easier just renting the spot, that way I don't have to move.
Yeah, no,
But
that's,
it's still a mobile kitchen.
no, that's fine, but
But
inspectional
don't,
service.
wouldn't a restaurant require tables and stuff?
Again, my concern is that once you become stationary, okay, you are competing with other restaurants that have to meet different requirements, and that's my concern.
Oh, okay, okay,
Okay, and that's why we probably need to ask the opinion of the Inspection of Service Department to see whether by being there only 3 days a week or 2 days a week
Okay.
will not require you to meet all the
I
requirements.
understand.
You understand
Yes,
that?
I definitely
Yeah,
understand,
yeah.
sir.
So, Madam Chair, my suggestion is that we request an opinion from the Inspection of Service.
Can we send it pending that documentation? So that
Yes,
way we don't
yes.
have to hold
Yes.
it down here?
Yes.
So the motion is to,
To send it up to the full council pending an opinion from the Inspection of Service as to any new requirements that may be required because of a stationary situation.
Got a pen?
Second?
all's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. You understand what we're trying to do, right?
Yes, no, we understand.
So if you
guys
go
are just
tomorrow and try to check with them, and they can give you something, some kind of documentation that you can bring back to us next Tuesday, that will help.
What was
So
that again? I'm sorry?
if you go tomorrow and try to speak with someone at the inspectional service and explain, and explain what we request, and bring some kind of documentation that they might gonna provide to you, you bring it back to us next Tuesday,
Next Tuesday, 7 o'clock?
7 o'clock.
All right, we have an issue. He owns another business. He probably won't be here. Would I be able to represent him? Because
Yes.
he's the actual owner?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, good.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being here.
Actually, before I leave,
Yeah?
I was supposed to see Alda tomorrow about her inspecting, doing the last inspection. I was supposed to be here, we were supposed to be here today.
Ask the same question, yep.
Is that fine that she could inspect the truck for that?
Yeah,
final
she should
Yeah.
go ahead, yeah.
Yeah.
Should I have a
Yeah.
problem?
Yeah.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Okay,
You have a good
thank
day.
you. Document 22517 is the traffic safety control.
Madam Chair,
Yeah.
can we hold, gentlemen,
Hello?
Jorge Espinosa.
So what was that?
Yeah, no, I was looking into the law and the way that it's described. I think they actually are able to do it because it says a transfer vendor is a person, either principal or, Mr. Espinosa. So I was looking, this is, the transfer vendor license is under the city ordinance, section 5.52 of our ordinance, and it's also within section 1 of Chapter 101 of Massachusetts General Laws. And what it describes as a transfer vendor is a person, either principal or agent, who engages in temporary or transfer business in the Commonwealth, selling goods, wares, or merchandise, either in one locality or in traveling from place to place. Provided, however, that this shall not include a person operating a written agreement with a licensed promoter. Are you currently in a written agreement with a promoter of the service that you will be selling, the food, any other restaurants or businesses?
No.
No, we're sole providers.
Okay.
This is
So-
us.
So it says stationary or?
Yeah, it says either in one locality or traveling from
Oh,
place
okay,
to place.
okay.
So they don't need to
Then
do
that's
it,
fine
okay?
then.
Yeah, so
Then
usually.
that's fine.
Just, we need to ratify the
Yeah.
motion then. Yeah, you good.
So what,
You still need to come back next Tuesday for our final, yeah, 7. If he can make it, you can be here and represent him.
all right,
Okay.
thank you very
So
much.
just get your inspection done with,
So just Alda inspected and
Yeah.
I'm all
Yes.
set, be here Tuesday at 7?
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So,
Thank you.
thank you. So the motion is,
We should amend the motion.
yeah,
yeah,
we should
just,
amend it. the
we're going to
motion.
amend the motion that not to get any opinions from the inspection of
No,
service. No,
motion with favor recommendation.
yes.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you, Counselor.
No problem.
Next document is 22517, traffic safety controls at Hoffman Ave and Josephine Ave, East Haver Street and Marston Street intersections. That has been put on agenda by Councilor Alvarez Rodriguez. Can I get a motion to send this item to offices, Collin, and I think the city engineer have to, because Marston Street is,
We're currently doing a lot of work on Marston Street.
Marston Street.
Yeah.
So can we send it to, also to city engineer, just to,
Yeah, I think that will be
To be safe.
helpful. Yeah, the city engineer.
so Maria, to
Both.
offices, Collin, and the city engineer.
So move.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Motion to table.
Second, so move.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. This is the item that I have to wait until Monday. Then I have to take. Can I get a motion to take document 22817 out of order?
So move.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Document 228 is a once city raised up request to use the Manchester Park for fashion show and Talent 9 on August 6 from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And that has been put in the agenda by Mabel Venezuela. I don't think that she's here.
She's not here.
But this is to August. We can table and we can ask.
Should
her
we
to
send
come.
Yeah, we should send correspondence.
Okay, you want to make the motion?
Motion to send correspondence to Mabel Valenzuela to come out to the next ordinance committee meeting.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Okay, motion to table.
Motion to table.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes.
Bill is here.
Yes, we have to wait for Martha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Am I?
yeah,
La de él.
yeah. Can I get a motion to take document 18017 out of order and out of table?
So
items?
move.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
187.
180. 180. Yes. Document 180 is la Iglesia de Dios Pentecostal request to hold a preaching to the word of the God of the corner of Newberry and Garden Street on June 19, July 24, August 21st, 17, and in corner of Chronic Park on June 26, July 31st, August 28, and the corner of Newberry Street and Summer Street on July 10, August 7, September 4, and O'Connell South Common and South Union Street on July 17, August 14, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Apollina Peter, 150 Garden Street, Lawrence.
Okay. So do you want to tell us a little bit about your event? I mean, your...
Well, just, we've been doing this almost every years, and this year's we added three or four parking. It's a, praise the God. That's it.
And all the days that you have request is at 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.?
You're right.
Okay. So do you think that's going to be enough time for you to set up and clean after?
We do.
Okay. So, Councilor, do you have any question?
No, motion to send it up to the full council with a favor recommendation.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you for being here. You also need to come back next Tuesday for our next city council meeting.
Okay, and in that case, next Monday we have other service, and then we cannot do it by, because next Monday is 19.
It's Tuesday.
I know it's a Tuesday, but I mean,
She says the next day, one of their days is June 19th.
it's in schedule by Monday.
And we are meeting on the 20th.
Also, you will have to, when we approve it, the June 19th won't be included as part of the motion. So
Okay.
you're not going to be able to do it on the 19th.
All right,
Yeah.
Okay?
thank you.
Yeah, you'll be able to start
On
after
the July 24th.
26.
July 26th.
June 26.
June 26th, yeah.
June 26th.
You'll be able to start June 26th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Collins.
Chair, may I address the chair? We're here for document 227, representing the DAB, and it wouldn't be necessary to wait for anybody else. It is our agenda item. We'd like to take it up, if you please.
Let me take one more items to, and then we're gonna, okay? Thank you. So let me just take, can I get a motion to take document 118 out of table and out of order?
118.
118 and table items.
Oh, 118.
Yes.
So move.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Document 11817, request to establish a two-way stop sign on Davis Street and Chester Street and remove yell sign that has been put on the agenda by Councilor Abdu. Councilor President, I would like you please to check, because for some reason I think we have sent this document to the full council, but if it's not, what we're gonna do is, because has been sitting here for a long time, and they've been requesting, but I remember that the last time we were waiting for a report from Officer's column, which I believe that we passed. So is a way that you can check?
Yeah, let me.
The report hasn't come.
I believe that we have the report, but he's gonna check in the back to make sure that this time we are gonna get it and we're gonna move it, okay? So I don't wanna just leave her here thinking that we are, waiting for any documentation. If you wanna speak on behalf, you're welcome to. You wanna say it? Yeah.
Hi, my name is Brenda Rosny, and I live at 127 Chester Street. This is, all the other streets around us have stop signs. For some reason, this street has the yield signs, and no one yields. No one stops, people just continue on. At Baldwin and Davis, there's stop signs. At Dracut and Davis, there's stop signs. But for some reason here, they put a yield sign. And and when you're coming up Chester Street, there's like a little hill and you almost can't see the street. And I don't know how many times the people have put on their brakes because someone's just flying through that intersection. So, we had talked about it, Council, and Council Burnell was on. She had put the document on, and originally she wanted a four-way stop sign. I said, we really don't need the four-way. We need just to change those yields to stop signs. So if that can be done, that would be great, and the neighbors will greatly appreciate it. Because I'm getting phone calls all the time from the neighbors that there's, waiting, and there's been accidents around the area, so that's why they kind of would like another stop sign down.
Okay. Councilor, do you have any question for Brenda, since she's here and she's been coming like for the couple of weeks and meeting?
So
just to.
we don't have a recommendation from Officer Scanlon, am I correct?
And I think Officer Scanlon said he did do the recommendation.
That's what I think we
Yeah.
have. For some reason,
Yeah.
it's still sitting on the table, but if I'm recollecting correct, I think we have sent that document to,
Where it says that
I
it was
wasn't
sent.
present to our last city council meeting, so I didn't know what happened
Right.
there, but I just want to make sure that we move this item.
Okay,
Just, we're just gonna give a few minutes to.
all right, no problem.
To Kendry, and then, in the meantime, what we can do, if you don't have any question, Counselor, we can send it to order a public hearing.
Send it up to,
Order a public hearing.
Motion to send it to the full council to order a public hearing, pending the document from the officer's count.
the recommendation. I second the motion.
Motion has been made, properly second, all those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you. So we're just gonna go back to. What can I do for the rest of the?
Of the recommendation?
No, not the recommendation. My first page of the agenda. My first page.
Oh,
I just have it here.
you found it?
I should have it in there. Just give take a few minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, we're just going to continue reading on the agenda. Document 22717 is the affirmation of ownership of DAV Insignia at Work, and that has been put in the agenda by William Collins, disabled American veteran.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the committee. William Collins, past commander, Disabled American Veterans, Queen City Chapter 2 in Lawrence. And this is Senior Vice Commander Len Gaudette, a Lawrence resident.
Good evening.
We're here just to clear up an issue, hopefully it'll be a minor issue, regarding a painting. And I have one copy of it that I'll give to the clerk. Sorry, I don't have more. I almost ran out of ink to print that. It's a painting entitled DAV Insignia, painted in 1934 by a member of the DAV's wife of a member. The painting hung in the old meeting hall, which is the current headquarters on Prospect in East Haverhill for 6 decades. And when the chapter became basically the membership waned and it fell by the wayside in the late 80s, the painting had a history of traveling around being stored. So the painting left the headquarters when they closed down for a few years, went to Methuen. The building it was in Methuen was being torn down, I think. So apparently, and unbeknownst to me, this is before my time, it ended up in the city cemetery barn. And I found that out through the senior citizen director, Martha Velez. This painting, we received a grant on from the Cultural Committee this year. Received a grant of $1,500 to restore it. It has a couple of punctures and it's worn out. It needs regeneration by a professional renovation specialist. So we did solicit some bids. We got somebody locally, agreed to do it. We delivered the painting. That's the day we delivered it, March 29th, to the restoration worker. And in the meantime, she found out about an ownership conflict. A city department had mentioned that it was owned by the city, the painting. And we maintain it is not owned by the city. It is our property. We were happy that the city utilized it and put it at the senior center, but the painting is our property. It's by means of testimony, by means of photographs, which I don't have here tonight, but I could supply them, will prove that that painting hung in our hall for 6 decades. And because it is labeled DAV Insignia, it is a protected, copyrighted emblem, and I'll have the Senior Vice Commander speak to that.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
my name is Leonard Gaudette. I'm the Senior Vice for Chapter 2. First of all, we are incorporated by an act of Congress, June 17, 1932. I have, if you wish to look at it, I have a copy of our Constitution and bylaws. The emblem, which I have right here on my shirt, and it's right here on my cover, belongs to us by act of Congress. Also, if we dissolve at any time, any chapter, whether it's the chapter itself or the auxiliary or any subordinate organization, the property goes to the state, and from the state it goes to national. It's held in escrow for 18 months. I cannot give any of my property, our property, away, nor can any commander do that. It just flows downhill, and it belongs forever to national. So whatever happened in the past, I don't care if it was 50 years ago, that property still remains not just in our chapter, it remains at the DAV. It's owned by the Disabled American Veterans. It's the same thing with the VFW, same thing with the American Legion. All veterans organizations have the same quotas and the same standards. And if you wish to look at this document, you can look at it. Actually, the word organization means the disabled American veterans in its totality, including but not limited to the national organization, the departments, the chapters, the subordinate units, the members, or the employees. So the property cannot be transferred.
Okay, I have a question. So what is the painting now?
Where is it now?
Yeah, what is it?
I believe it's still at the artist. She's holding it. We delivered it. In fact, that's us delivering that, the painting to the artist. We have a grant to augment and refurbish the painting.
Okay, yeah.
Councilors, do you have
You
the memo?
mentioned-
Do you have the memo that was supplied with that document? There's a memo, a two-page memo that goes with it. You have that information?
Okay, you mentioned, Bill, that you received a grant to restore the painting,
Yes.
and that's the reason why it is now with the painter is being restored?
Well, erring on the side of caution, abundance of caution, the restoration person does not want to start the work until the question of ownership is settled. And one thing to keep in mind, we will lose the grant. It will be a sad day for everybody if we don't act soon on this. The grant will expire at the end of the year. The artist may take up to 3 months to do the work. It's a lot of extensive work.
And also, I might add, this is the beginning of the 100th anniversary of World War I, which that painting depicts. That's Columbia knighting a soldier after the First World War. And that, we wanted to put it on exposition here in City Hall.
Matter of fact, part of the grant, the reason grant was successful is we agreed to make sure the public sees it in this 100th anniversary of World War I that'll be coming up. And in conversation with the mayor, he verbally agreed that City Hall would be a good place to hang it for that anniversary year. People are here morning, noon, and night. So it'll get a lot of exposure, and maybe even school kids will come to look at it. We may even develop an exhibit about World War I based around the painting.
When was the painting commissioned to be painted?
Well, a good question. It was 1934, and as a little historical note, it was the wife of a member named Catherine Donovan.
Oh, the wife of a member of what?
Wife of a member of the DAV, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And it may actually also be a WPA, Works Project Administration, painting. They commissioned a lot of paintings during the Depression, people to keep them working. We're looking into the possibility that this was also one of the Depression projects that President Roosevelt put money out for.
You mentioned that the painting, okay, so it was commissioned way back in
1934.
1934 by the wife of
It was painted by the wife of one of our
It was
members.
painted,
And it
okay.
actually, if you look
And
at
from
the painting,
there, it has been in possession of DBA?
possession of DAV
Of DAV?
for 6 decades up until the
6 decades?
1980s, when they closed the meeting hall.
Okay. Are all the information that you are giving us, are this verifiable, this information?
Yes. Yes, we have photos of old member parties and
Okay,
members.
okay,
And also, we have members that are 80 and 90 that can, if we ask them, they will write affidavits. We're hoping we don't have to go that far.
Okay.
The reason we're taking this to the council is this was the suggestion of our state adjutant. His name is Dan Stark. He works at the State House for the DAV. And he said you need an affirmation of ownership. So we have more or less clear ownership. Some piece of paper basically from the city saying that they do not own the painting. You know, fairly simple, hopefully.
Okay, so the argument here is that the painting doesn't belong to the city, that the painting belongs to the organization, the
Chapter 2 of
okay.
yeah, Queen City.
Okay. I don't feel comfortable, and I understand. Personally, okay, I I don't know how the other councilors feel. I don't feel comfortable making a decision tonight as to who ownership belongs to. Probably, it would be a good idea that you submit pictures and some kind of records that not only us can review, but probably that the attorney can review, so that then true ownership can be determined. I am not an expert on that, and I don't have the expertise to make a determination. So my feeling is that probably the documentation that you have should be reviewed by the city attorney, and then have him come back with a recommendation to this board.
Exactly, Counselor, that's what that would be the best course of action, I
Okay.
think, to get a legal, clear
Okay.
opinion
Yes,
on it.
yes.
Councilor
Madam
Rodriguez.
Chair, yes. So, let me see if I understand properly. So the city says that they own it, or the city doesn't specify that if they own it or
The
not?
city department had made the statement that the city owns it.
What, the senior center, you say? Okay.
Senior Director Abata Velez.
So, I would like to have them talk and see why they said that it belonged to them.
Sure. And believe me, she's going to tell you an interesting story that we knew nothing about the day we went to pick up the painting. She basically gave it new life. And
Yes, that is two sides of the story. Let's hear the other side.
Good evening, Martha Velez, 147 Bennington Street, Director of the Lawrence Senior Center. So, about 9 years ago, well, DAV was dismantled. When Francisco Urenia was the VSO downstairs, and I was the program administrator at the senior center, he approached me and said, I have a group of seniors that are meeting in Andover and have no place to meet. Would you be willing to go with me and meet with them? I went and met with them, and they told me that they had no place, they had no home to meet, and this is where they met. I said to them, I would be more than happy to give you space at the senior center so that you can continually have your meetings every month. And what they were trying to do is build a chapter. So in order to build the chapter, they needed to have members. In order to have members, they needed to have a home, a place, a physical place that they can call a house, right?
And
So
they were from Lawrence.
Lawrence, I think they're from all over the Merrimack Valley, am I right? Methuen, Andover, right? From the Merrimack Valley, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So I did that, I opened it up. This is while I was program administrators, probably like in the 90s, 94, 95, around that is when that happened. Okay. They started to meet. Like 3 years later, they formed a chapter. And the chapter has been growing, am I right?
And that's the chapter.
The chapter is not just them, it's, well, now they have a new commander. Bill was the ex-commander.
So it's the same chapter.
But it's the same chapter. So Don Silver was the one that I originally, and Joseph was were the first people that I spoke to. And they became a chapter. And I think that maybe a year ago you guys got a building? Or when was it that you got the building? When did you get the building?
probably, we got the building in East Havel Street.
About 8 months ago or so? A year ago?
We've been there 4 or 5 years, maybe.
No, not that long yet? Okay. So anyways, they still continue to meet at the senior center once a month, third Thursday of the month, and we open the doors. Now, the painting, right?
Yes.
About 9 years ago, I was volunteering at the cemetery for Beautification Day. I needed to go to the ladies' room. I went into the barn, and I saw this painting on the floor with stuff on top of it. And I said, oh my God, that's a beautiful painting. That's really, it's not very pleasant that it's just lying there. I'm going to find out. And I asked the cemetery director, why is it there? He goes, it was thrown here. I asked if it could be taken to the senior center.
You know, like by who?
DPW brought it. So DPW brought it to the barn. They left it there. I asked if I could hang it at the senior center because I had DAV members and veterans that I did all kinds of stuff for at the senior center, and it would be a beautiful painting to hang. we brought it to the senior center. It's been hanging at the senior center for about 8, 9 years, for as long as DAV has been there. And we decided to take it and put it in a hallway that the DAV veterans walk through, so that we made a veterans walkway into their meeting room so we can honor them. It's been there for many years. Okay. So about 2 years ago, I said it would be a beautiful thing to restore this because it does have it's cracking a little. It's since 1932. Let's try. I wish I could get some money. I'm not a 501c3 most of the time. I'm a municipality. Most of the time you need a 501c3. Well, I guess Arts Lottery money came. Bill went and applied for it without telling me that he was applying for the grant. I didn't know that he was applying for this grant. He applied for it. He received it, spoke to the Art Center to have the drawing, the painting restored. When was it, in March? Yeah. I was upstairs in a meeting, and they told me that Bill was there. I said, I'm in a meeting. I said, Laura, my assistant, can you please go speak to Bill? She went downstairs. The gentlemen were there. Like 35, 40 minutes later, she comes up. She goes, I think you need to go downstairs. I went downstairs, and when I got downstairs, they had already taken it off the wall, and they were on the process of just walking out the door with it. And I'm like, no one told me that you're taking this painting. Where are you going? Well, we're getting it restored. This belongs to us. I says, well, wait a minute. This is hanging on a city property. You're coming in, you're taking it. I don't mind that you take it because you got this grant and it's got to be restored. I would love the idea, but just make it clear that before it gets taken anywhere, after it's done at the Essex Arts Center, we need to be on the same page as to where the painting needs to go. And if it's restored, it really needs to come back to the senior center, and then we can all discuss what's going to happen. I've never spoken to Bill. Bill has never sitting down with me, except for the time that I asked to be put on the agenda of the DAV, and the regulations were read to me. I said, what does that mean to me? Because I'm not a lawyer. I know, as a city department head, I did write an email saying, as a city department head, you took something that's city property, it belongs to the city, it doesn't belong to Martha Velez, it belongs to the city of Lawrence, it's hanging on a city wall, and at no time was I told that it was going to be taken out or agreed for it to be taken down. So there's holes on my wall, a painting's gone, I don't know anything about it, and that's where we are today. So I would kindly ask of you to please let this go up to the attorney's office. I think we all need to sit down together and discuss where and I love the DAV. I want to help them. I want to celebrate their 100th ceremony. I actually told them we could have a big celebration at the senior center. I don't have a problem if it comes and hangs at the city hall. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem in the way that it's all handled, and the way that we're doing this is not the right way. So I'm requesting through you to please take it up to the attorney's office. Let us all sit down together, find out how it was. Now, when this all happened, I wrote an email to Eileen Burnell and I asked what was going on. Eileen Burnell informed me that what had happened was the DAV dismantled when Bill said they did. They gave the painting to the VFW. The VFW didn't want it anymore and gave it to the city. So it's a gift to a gift to a gift. Now, I understand the regulations. I'm not a veteran, so I don't want to disrespect anybody. Right. But I'm not a lawyer either, so I don't know what that means. But I do know that the painting, when Bill was replaced by another commander, we agreed that we would go ahead with restoring the painting, not hold it up, let it be restored, and we would all discuss where and how the painting's going to be, whose ownership, where is it going to be. And I think that's where it needs to be. We need to come to terms, but I think we can't be doing it if we're not speaking to each other.
Thank you, Martha. Can I have Bill, please?
Yes, Councilman.
Bill, how are you doing tonight?
Good, thank you, Councilman.
There is a lack of communication between the two parties. What is your story about that part?
I didn't catch the last part.
What is your story about the lack of communication between the two
I take full responsibility for it. I could see that this painting needed repair a couple of years ago. I put in for a grant last year. We got a small amount of money that turned out to be nowhere near enough to get the job done. So I reapplied this year, taking the initiative to do that. I guess it goes under no good deed goes unpunished. Maybe in retrospect, I'm responsible, and I probably should have contacted the senior center director. But we had a time deadline, we got a grant, we wanted to get things done, all that's being held back now. One thing I would like to point out, the city is not letting us meet in certain places out of anybody's good nature. Mass general law says that you will give the local veteran group space in your building. City of Haverhill has the DAV in City Hall, just to clear that up. And the reason I was replaced is because I didn't run. I wasn't a candidate. We believe in going through the chairs. Next year, this will probably be the commander. So
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
I tried not to
I
bring
think-
personalities into it, and we're very grateful that Martha more or less rescued the painting. That's a story none of us knew about. And it goes back to what you said, the lack of communication. We had no idea that this was sitting in a barn and not being used. The other problem is the location it was in the senior center. As you can see in the picture, it's a 6-foot painting. Although very well intentioned to honor veterans with their own little niche, it was at a level where it was on the ground and went up to about here. It suffered from punctures while it was at the senior center, and the frame got damaged. And I don't blame anybody. It's a tight squeeze in there, but it probably never should have been put in that spot. So thinking in the future, first of all, for the next year, we hope to have it at City Hall where a lot of people will see it. And after that, I divorced myself of it, and I'm sure it'll go back to the senior center. But like we said, it's going to be the legal minds that decide this. We stand that we have the ownership of this painting, not only through testimony we can supply and photographs, but through our bylaws and through all reasonable means.
And is the organization willing to have the paint in other places, perhaps, like you mentioned, the City Hall, or do you have any objection having it at the senior
No
center?
objection whatsoever, absolutely. We're all for getting it out so the most people in the public can view it. We want it in venues where, especially in this 100-year anniversary of World War I, people can appreciate
Yeah,
newly restored painting.
and not that I want to take any sides, but I mean, the building that most people goes in the city of Lawrence is the senior center. I mean,
Well, like I said, I'll let the legal minds decide about that.
yeah. I just
Respectfully would disagree. I don't think many of those people in there are veterans
oh,
or would
yeah, I agree with you.
appreciate the
I agree.
concept of World War I.
Yeah, and I said that I don't want to take
Taking
any
nothing away
sides,
from the
not
great
at all.
work.
But I would like to both of you parties sit down, have a coffee, talk about it, and see what we can get a resolution for. Because at the end of the day, everybody want the best for the paint.
We're all pals. I was her mailman 30 years ago.
Okay,
Thank you so much. Thank you both
Thank you,
of you guys.
councilors.
I think.
So I think that he wants to. Do you want something to say?
Madam Chair,
Do you?
I think that what the DAV wants is to establish ownership first. And then what happens where the painting is located, obviously that can be worked out. But my suggestion is that we ask the DAV to submit pictures and any other documents that you have to the city attorney. Let the city attorney come back with a recommendation, because there's a time frame that we have to deal with, and that is a time frame that the grant is going to expire, and the work needs to be done. So it seems to me that we need to speed this up so that the city attorney can briefly review whatever documentation you have, and then come back. And you don't even have to come back here,
No,
because
I
I don't
don't
think we
see-
have
I
the
don't see the
authority
need.
to determine ownership. But
Yeah.
the city attorney will determine that, and then once that is done, both parties will be notified, and you guys can go ahead with the restoration, and then you can get together and decide where the paint is going to be, whether you want to move it at a certain period of time to different locations, whatever. That would be up to you guys. But it seems to me that the city attorney would be the most appropriate individual to make a decision, given information that you guys are going to provide.
Counselor, the painting was supposed to be done by Labor Day. That was a time frame, but now we've already dropped a couple of months. So I don't know if it's going to be available now for the beginning of the celebration, which is in November. Well, it'll be probably Veterans Day. We'll start, showing it. So now I think that time frame has been pushed aside. I don't know what's going to happen.
That's what I'm saying, that rather than coming back here, the city attorney can make a decision, given whatever documentation you have, speed it up, and let the city attorney make a determination, and then you guys can go ahead and restore it.
Very quick.
Yeah, but,
Through you, Madam Chair, very quick. Very
I
quick.
think as I stand next to these fine gentlemen, I think that we just need to agree, because I think that we should let the Essex Arts Center do, because it doesn't matter if it's ownership of mine or yours or the city's or whose, it's really about getting the work done, right? So I sent an email and told the Essex Arts Center to proceed with the work. I think if we can all just agree with that, I don't have a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? If the city attorney, I'm not an attorney, if the city attorney says, listen, here's the paper, it's the DAV's, God bless it. Okay,
Right.
I don't want to be responsible for giving something that belongs to the city. It's not mine to give.
Right.
So I just want to make sure that it doesn't
Right.
come back to bite me either, that I gave something or something from a city was taken out without giving any permission. So I think we just, if we can agree, I think that's where we start, right? Let them start the work, so it'll be done for November, so Sarah could get it done. And then meanwhile, we could all have this discussion, and I want to have a great celebration.
I guarantee you there'll be better communication going forward. I learned a lesson that, when I took the painting out, I
That's
was
good.
really surprised at the story of the rescue of the painting.
You mentioned one thing, Bill, before.
Yes.
You mentioned that the painter is not willing to start work until ownership is determined.
Correct. That's why there's a time element here, because of the grant running out. The one thing we desire at the end of the day on this issue is to get some kind of a document saying the city does not have ownership.
Okay, Councilor
But that can
Jovan.
only be done by the city attorney.
That's what we thought from day one. We don't expect you to be
would
King
like to-
Solomon.
I would like to make a motion
No,
to send
before you make the motion,
notification to the attorney.
yeah, but before you make the motion, after you make the motion, I'm not going to be able to speak and wrap it up
Oh,
about
no, we
that.
can start going with
Okay.
discussion.
So I think it has been very clear. It was a lot of communication. Even right now, we are clear whether you want to go. I feel strongly on Councilor Modesto's side on saying that that has nothing to do with us and make a decision what is going to happen. However, if it is something that afterward we need to be part of it, that's something different. But I think, you both agree that, whichever way needs to go, you need to work with one to another. I wish, in no any particular side, but, senior center, if it is the place that has been for all this year, and come back to it. So I don't know, how do you feel about
I
that?
appreciate it, Madam Chair. It's really not about us. We all want to see what's
Yes,
best for the
yeah.
veterans. Appreciate the dinners we have in the fall and the way they treat us over there. We all want the painting restored. We just need, going forward, from our state leaders,
Right.
clear ownership of this painting so this doesn't happen again.
Listen, I'd like to
Thank
say
you.
something before you guys end up, if I may.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sure.
One more
Yes.
thing before, also, we had all the minutes of our meetings, all of our other property was in a locked container. They went and they opened it, and everything was gone.
Right.
So we have that's supposed to go to national as well. All our minutes of our meetings are all gone from day one.
Right.
Everything was in that container. It's gone. So,
That was also in the barn in the cemetery.
yeah, so
Yes.
more property gone.
Yeah. Councilor Rodriguez,
Yes, go ahead.
you want to speak?
My name is JT Torres. I live in Packard Street in Lawrence. First and foremost, if the grant expires, I'm willing to pay for that myself to get it restored. It's hard for me really to be here because I respect and admire Bill very much, and obviously I had a lot of love for Martha as well and for everything she's done. As veterans, I hold veterans to a higher standard, not taken away from any leadership capabilities from anyone in the civilian sector. I have a brother Marine behind me, and I think that two things that we take away is integrity and honesty, right? So the reason I bring that up is because I feel we work very well with the senior center. And yes, it might not be a big crowd of veterans going in there, but we do have veterans that go there on a daily basis. As a matter of fact, they visit that center more than they visit my office. I provide services for veterans. One of the things that they're overlooking, or we're overlooking, and it's, he said he's grateful, Bill, but I don't see how you're, proving how grateful you are when you're asking to take a painting out of a location that, if it wasn't because of the due diligence of Martha, getting that painting and putting him in a location where, all right, might not be observed by many, but to me, every time I go down that hallway, as a veteran, I'm speaking as a veteran, I'm honored to see that. I am a member of the DAV Quincy City Chapter 2, and I'm going to say not every DAV member feels the same about what they're doing. So I think that in the long run, we got to think about that place there, first of all, does so much for our veterans. And I want you to consider that. I know you don't have the final say-so on it, but the Veterans Benefit Fair is done there. The Veterans Luncheon is done there. DAV has a home there at no cost. So again, I think that through the efforts of Martha, we're all able to enjoy that painting now. So again, and we have a lot of conversations that we agree. Unfortunately, this is one of them that I don't agree with. And thank you for your time.
Yeah, I would like to, before you make the motion, just make a quick comment, and you guys can go whatever you guys think is right. I agree with Maldonado saying that we should go ahead and continue with the work. And once the job is done, the veterans are going to decide where they're going to be. And if they decide it's going to be at City Hall or at the Senior Center, it's a pleasure for all of us, but they enjoy it more because they feel represented by the paint. And that's my thought about that. But by all means, I would like the job to start yesterday because it's necessary. We definitely cannot afford to lose that grant. We got to do it right. But I definitely would like to see the job proceed with the work.
So, Bill, do you think you could just send an email tomorrow that it's you, me, the city attorney, and the mayor's office, and just let them know that, and Sarah,
I'm not an emailer, but I will make sure I communicate.
and Sarah, and just that way we could all be on the same page, everybody gets the same email? Thank you.
Send it up to the city attorney.
City attorney,
And withdraw the document because it's not coming back to anyway.
Yeah.
So motion,
I would like to make a motion to send it.
I'm glad we're all.
Thank you so much.
thank you.
I would like to make that's a good thing. I would like to make a motion to send this document, or ask for a recommendation to the city attorney in terms of the ownership of this paint based on documentation.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have a motion to withdraw the document 22717.
So moved.
Not sending it upstairs. Counselor, are you withdrawing? Our intent to get it on the agenda, as directed by the state officers, was to be a catalyst for action. Is there any chance you could send it to the attorney? We have no standing with the city attorney.
We did.
So
We send it to the attorney, yeah.
I'm sorry.
The first motion Councilor Rodriguez has made is to send it
send it
to
up
the
to the
city
attorney
attorney.
Thank you.
So whatever recommendation he's going to provide or give it to you, you don't have to come back to us. That way,
It's in his
you
hands.
move forward instead of coming back.
Thank you for your
So-
time.
And there's no need to keep this document here because he's not coming back
I
here.
didn't hear it all. My
Okay?
mistake.
Not that I don't want to see you.
Now I know how
Ron.
bad these bikes are. I got to hear it out
Okay.
there. These are terrible.
The
Thank
motion
you.
to withdraw the document.
So moved.
So we're gonna send it to the full council for withdrawal.
No,
No.
we're gonna say, we go over there, but, withdraw
Send it to
is,
the full council to withdraw.
yeah,
To
but
withdraw,
it goes
yes.
automatically.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Second motion.
second to withdraw.
Yes.
Thank you. So,
All in favor?
all's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you. The next document is 22917 handicap parking, 255 Prospect Street. Has been put in the agenda by Basilia.
Motion to send it to Officer Scanlon.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Motion to table document
So moved.
229.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Document 23017 is a Ministerio Roca de Vida, Inc., request to use the Campanon Common for community preaching on July 28, August 25th, 2017, from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Motion to send communication to
The
the
applicants.
people responsible to the applicant so that they can come back at the next meeting.
Second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
and the
Yeah,
next
it's-
meeting is gonna be?
2 weeks. So can we
Oh,
send
we're
it
just
out
gonna leave it,
Huh?
and then when we have the next meeting, yeah.
Yeah.
whenever we
yeah.
have the next meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, so motion to table document 230. All those in favor?
Aye.
You all said, honey.
Mira, espérate, give me a second, please.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I think we need to amend this motion.
Motion to take item 230 out of the table
230 out
items.
of table.
2:30?
Yeah, the
Okay,
one.
so move, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
I would like to make a motion to send it to the full council and send correspondent to the applicants, that way they can be here next week.
What we can do is, you know what? We also can do another thing. Can we check if everything is in order and, in case that
Yeah.
someone doesn't needs to be, can be present, we're not gonna be holding, and thank you for
Well, they will need to
reminding.
be present anyway.
Yeah, they need to be, but just
that
to make
time.
sure that everything
Yeah,
is in order
okay.
before we,
Yeah,
we make that step. It's a document 230.
Yeah, look that they have the signatures.
It has everything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, so we good to go.
I would like to make a motion to send it to the full council and send correspondence to the author of the item to be present for next week. Send it to the full council with a with a fair recommendation.
Yeah.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank
So
you.
it's two things at the end of the motion, correspondent and recommend.
Yeah. So the next document is document 23217, one-way from Haver Street in Main Street that has been put on the agenda by Councilor Maldonado. We got a report back from Officer Scanlon, and his recommendation.
This one?
Yeah,
Oh, we did already?
yeah. 232, I don't know how that
That
happened.
fast?
Eso nosotros no lo hubiéramos ni mandado.
So I don't know how that can.
No,
What
that cannot
What has
be.
happened is this, whenever we receive that, this has been happening, and I spoke to him, sometimes
New
he
items?
get it before we got it at the ordinance committee.
Yeah.
The report is here, and I don't want to be holding things up, because this is what is getting confused.
What
and
did he
he's
say?
been sending. He
Yeah.
recommended.
You recommend it
Yeah.
for me.
He's
What do you
One
think?
way.
Wait, no.
Wait.
He's not recommending it.
No, wait.
No.
I submitted this memo in response to document 232. This is a request for one-way in Railroad Street from Haver Street to Main Street. This roadway is 34 feet wide with vehicle park on both sides of the street. The roadway for traffic is 20 feet wide. This roadway is wide enough to allow for two-way traffic.
So
Okay,
one way is
so-
not recommended.
Not
No,
recommend.
let me address the issue.
Uh-huh.
There is a problem on this street, the corner of Railroad and May Street. So residents are trying to find a solution, and they recommended that we turn into a one-way. But there are other issues where you have the charter school there, that we will need their input, and we also need the input from the other, and there's a company right on that street, and how they were going to be affected. Nevertheless, there is an issue of a lot of accidents that is taking place on the corner, and I am not even sure whether the one-way will correct the problem. There may be other issues, and what we would like to do is get some opinions from Officer Scanlon regarding how to address that particular issue of the accidents on the corner of May and Railroad Street.
May I?
Yes. That's in your
I
area.
think that the part of the solution, but the problem is on May on Railway.
That's correct.
So we should be focused on the intersection instead of the entire
Let me
threshold
ask you
of
a
the
question,
road.
both of you. Is that street off Haver Street?
Yes.
It is off
Going to
Haverhill,
Main.
and then it goes into a turn. It goes into a left turn into Main Street.
Oh, yes, 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 yeah.
It goes into Main Street.
Esa es la main.
So what we
Okay,
should do is ask Officer Scanlon for an opinion as to how we can address the problem of accidents on the corner
On the
of
corner of
Main
Main. Yes.
and Railroad.
I think that we should ask his opinion in terms of probably recommending a stop sign there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
ask
so
for his
too,
opinion
because
on
I
And a
can,
stop
How to
sign
resolve
going from Railroad into Main.
Yes,
Not a
exactly,
three-way stop sign.
exactly,
So
okay.
basically here.
exactly.
All righty, I think
Exactly.
now, yes, it's off.
Because
Hafner
I
gas
believe that the
station
police
and
have
that, okay.
plenty of records on the number of accidents that have taken
So,
place, so
Mother,
there would be more, it would be,
So what do you guys want
But
to do?
will you looking to have this document for withdrawal, have a new one for the stop sign, or you want to
no, haven't
recommend-
come back with a recommendation
For the stop sign?
in terms of how we can correct
The-
the accident problem at that corner.
And probably in the
Yeah,
stop sign?
Yeah.
and keep the document here.
Okay.
Okay, so we're just gonna table the document, right?
Uh,
And send,
and-
correspond to
So-
Officer Scanlon for a study review.
So, yeah, a safety review / probably a sign on May,
At the corner,
on the corner of May and Railroad, or Railroad going
Street.
into May. Railroad going into May.
okay? I make motion to table it.
Motion-
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. The next document is document 23517, use a Howard Park for a visual and community walk in memory of Devin Rooney on Thursday, August 31st, from 6 to 8 p.m. That has been put in the agenda by Mayor Rivera on behalf of Kathy Johnson. Okay, so I don't,
So it's a vigil, yeah.
yeah, so I
Community
don't-
walk in memory of David Romaine.
so what we're gonna do is just to send it with,
Let's take a look at all the documentation to see if they have anything there. Yeah, they have the signatures.
they have it. So everything, it should be all set, because,
Yeah, they have the signature, they have the police, Fitzpatrick? Yeah,
they have
Fitzpatrick's
everything.
signature.
Yep, they
The
have
real
it.
one.
Okay, a real one? Wow. Okay, so
Okay, I
we're
would like
gonna,
to make a motion to send it to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
all's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Can I get a motion to take document 17817 out of order, out of table?
So move.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Document 17817 is a handicap parking at 38 Newton Street. And his recommendation, sure,
That way,
yeah.
we can move faster.
So he recommended
Yes, this is a request for a handicap parking spot at 38 Newton Street. The handicap parking should be placed at the following location: from the northeast corner of Kingston Street and Newton Street to a point 108 feet, and from the northeast corner of Kingston Street and Newton Street to a point of 128 feet. The handicap parking should be placed on the east side of Newton Street in front of 38 Newton Street. So basically, he recommends that we do so.
I would like to make a motion to send it to the full council with a favorable recommendation to order public hearing.
Public hearing.
All's in
Second.
favor? All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it, just, if he recommended.
Document
The next
185.
document is,
185.
185. Can I get a motion to take document 18517 out of table?
So move.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. 185.
I am submitting this memo in response to document number 185. I submitted this request as a document 103 in May 2017. Both businesses were spoken to and advised that only one parking spot will fit at this location. Any additional parking will cause vehicles to block residential driveway next to this business, so only
One.
one parking space.
I'd like to make a motion to send it to the full council with the recommendation of one parking
One,
spot
yeah.
to order a public hearing.
Second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. The next document is, can I get a motion to take document 18717 out
So
of
move.
table?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. So
I
know
am
that-
submitting this memo in response to document 187. This is a request for no parking on Blazer Court. This dead-end roadway is very narrow, and having vehicles parking on either one side or both sides makes the road impossible.
Okay,
So he is
recommended, no
in
parking.
favor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
I would like to make a motion to send it to the full council to order a public hearing.
So, second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
The
Aye.
ayes have it. The next document is document 150, can I get a motion to take document 158 out of table?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. I believe that he requesting the address and the location for that specific item, so we have to send it back with the address to him, and he send a recommendation.
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
so basically, we don't know, so we're gonna have to speak with,
The application should have the
It
address.
should have the application. What he
So,
said was that
So send them the address.
I submit this memo in response to document 158. I'm requesting the address and the business in the order the property handled this parking request.
yeah, and so
So-
basically the Peña was the one proposing it, so we should.
In
we
Councilor
should-
Maldonado.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, both.
So, do you know the address?
I'm sorry? No, I don't know the address.
So
No. The document, the original application
it
should have that information.
If we don't have it, you can provide it to him.
Huh?
If we don't have it, you can provide it to him.
So, Maldonado,
I don't know
hold
what
on
the-
one second. This
don't
is
know
a
what the business-
15-minute parking spot that you request. That is not an application for it, it's just an item on the agenda. You put it together and Brian put it together.
Oh, that's right, yes, I'm
So-
sorry. Sorry.
So he need
Yes.
the address.
Is,
So can you or Brian provide that
yes.
address?
yes, is, yes, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine, that's fine. It's getting, no,
Yeah.
that's fine, that's fine.
I have to locate the address. I know it's in the corner of
Lawrence and
and
Stern. I believe it's Stearns.
Stern. I am not
believe.
sure, but I will get the location.
Okay, but
I will get the
can
location.
you
And get it to-
provide
and
that
get it to
information?
Officer Scanlon,
Okay,
yes.
so we need to table the
Yes.
document then.
Motion to table.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. So do you have the other ones in order, 173? After that one.
Yes.
Okay. Can I get a motion to take document 17317 out of table?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Just, he
I am submitting this memo in response to document 173. This is a request for resident parking on Winslow Place. This street is a dead end, and most residents have
That's
to
your-
park on the street. When non-resident vehicles from surrounding neighborhood park long-term at this location, the people who live on this street have to park on the next block. I recommend making resident parking at this
Okay.
location.
So, yeah,
Yes, okay.
so motion to,
Motion to send it to the full council, to order a public hearing.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Okay. Can I get a motion to take document 17617 out of table?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. So document
Document-
176 is a resident sticker parking on Fairmount Street to be created. That has been put on the agenda by Councilor Kendris Vasquez, Mayor Rivera, and Councilor Rodriguez. So that he recommended.
I am submitting this memo in response to document 176. This is a request for resident parking on Fairmont Street. The residents of this location are having parking issues from the overflow of vehicles near the school. I recommend making resident-only parking on Fairmont Street.
Would like
So
to make
he-
a motion to order a public hearing?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. I have one document here that we was waiting for, a recommendation to, oh, I have to. Okay. I know the document 192. Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Councilor Maldonado.
192?
Yes. Remember the last meeting, we were waiting for also, well, we have the recommendation for,
Yes, it's recommending it.
We have one?
yeah, but we
Yeah,
didn't send it to Office Escalon, did
No,
we?
we just send it to,
City engineer, I mean,
the
DPW, which
he
per
recommended.
request, and I investigate the location at the intersection of Swamp Street and Berkeley Street. And it is clear the particular location has a crash history, the necessity of roadside barrier. The shale mostly from running off the roadway, I recommend the steel whip bin highway guard be installed in accordance with Mass DOT construction. So we were just waiting for this recommendation.
Yes, I would like to send it to the full council, to,
Let me take out a table because,
okay, here.
yep, I was reading this
Motion to
before.
take it off table?
Motion to take out.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, I would like to make a motion to send it to the full council. Do we need to order a public hearing for this?
I think we should order public
It's
hearing.
consideration line, large auto signs. It's not like, it's not
No,
a, it's not
no.
a regulatory sign,
No,
so
it's
I don't
not a-
think.
No, I don't think so. So we're just gonna traffic
Yeah, we just send it to the full council,
with the favor
with a fair
recommend.
recommendation.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The
Aye.
ayes have it. We made two documents out of this, right?
Yes, the
There's
other one was,
191, okay.
the other one
wait.
we already, recommend, asked for the public hearing, for publication. And this one is a recommendation.
Okay, wait, okay, the one that I read, it was 191, and the 192 is a traffic directional. Okay, per request, I investigated, okay, can I get a motion to take document 191 out of table?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Per request, I investigated the location, the intersection of Swan Street and Berkeley Street. It is clear, or it's basically the same, crash history. Okay, so we order
And
public
then,
hearing.
And then this is, this is what he's recommending. Steel beam and guards and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yep. This
So
is
he
the
recommended,
typical one, yep.
so did we, okay, so we ordered something and, so it should be at this full council.
This is how it worked before. We split this document in three parts. Two of them were straight up to the DPW, the other one went straight up to order a public hearing.
Which was the stop
The
sign?
stop sign, yeah.
Okay,
The
that's,
stop sign, we already recommended in order to order the public hearing.
we don't have that,
No, we didn't wait for the recommendation from Scotland because it was a safety issue. And we
right.
already-
Yep, I
we already,
remember, yep.
are waiting for the publication.
So
So the
it
publication
shouldn't be
should good
here.
No, it shouldn't be.
190 shouldn't be here.
19017 was sent to the full council.
Yes, that's why they shouldn't be here.
It shouldn't be on the
shouldn't
agenda.
be here.
It's a typo there.
Okay, so I need to take the document and withdraw this document out of here because I'm gonna be cleaning the agenda. I mean, it's a lot of documents that we are getting
This is
confused.
just a typo here. I think that we already sent it to the full council.
Yes, I
it shouldn't
remember
be
that
here.
we did. So can I get a motion to withdraw, document 19017?
Before we actually make a motion, I think it is a typo. It's already on the full council.
Yeah, but we need to take it out of here.
No, but we already have it there. It shouldn't be
okay,
there, just a
okay.
typo.
Oh, yeah.
We're just gonna delete it out of the agenda.
Okay, so before we continue, can I get a motion to approve the minute of the,
Before we go there, we haven't.
Motion to approve the minutes.
to approve the
Second.
minute, yeah, Thursday, May 25th?
Motion has.
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
So we,
approve the minute.
did we vote the 19117?
190?
191.
No.
No, we're,
No, we're not there yet. Motion to take 19117 out of table.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Motion to send it to the full council with a favor recommendation.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. So we don't have to keep it here. So, Counselor, I promise to ourselves that we are gonna start cleaning our agenda. I'm gonna take the last page, and I'm gonna take all the document as a block to withdraw. However, if someone wants to, reapply or apply, more than welcome to do so, but we need to clean the agenda.
Why don't we send notification to every councilor that is here to see if they wanted to pursue with those items before we withdraw it? Because they might be not waiting
Yeah, that
for
would be a
us
good
to do
idea,
any.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
idea.
fine, that's fine. So, but then we have to take all the items.
And what we can do that, like, we can do that without making any motion, just having Teresa sending notifications.
Yeah, we're not gonna bother, okay, yep, that's fine. So I don't have any other urgent, items, so if you don't have.
Make a
any-
motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn? No, we didn't do that.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it, thank you. No, Giovanni.